Revelation 2197. From the 29th of December 1941. Disaster and hardship afterwards. Humanity still faces the greatest suffering if it does not find its way to God. At a time when the divine Creator is thought of so little that he is not called upon even in the most bitter adversity. The events that bring sorrow and gloom upon people are increasing in order to turn hearts towards the eternal deity after all. And yet, even this will not be enough for people to seek contact with God. And thus he will bring himself close to people in another way, for without God they will be eternally lost. The day of horror is approaching and the suffering will be immense, for in the night of terror, people will lose all contact with each other and no one will know from the other whether he has become a victim of the disaster which triggers fear and horror and from which no one can escape. And then adversity will teach people to pray, people will fear for their loved ones or their own lives and find no earthly help, and only the path to God will remain for them, and in view of their approaching end they will also find this path. And God will help anyone who calls upon him in adversity as soon as this call comes from the bottom of his heart and God recognizes a change of will on the part of the human being. For God does not want to annihilate completely and yet have an educative effect on the whole of humanity, since it can no longer be helped in any other way. But people cannot yet imagine what hardship will follow this disaster, for everything will lie fallow and only the greatest willingness to serve will be able to create a state again which is bearable for people. But only few people will want to serve, and therefore the hardship will be unspeakably great, for humanity is blinded and does not recognize the meaning and purpose of a disaster to which countless people will fall a victim. And yet, there is no other way to guide people back to faith in God. Yet God forgives and his infinite love still postpones the day so that people will still find their way to him before then and avert the greatest suffering from themselves through strength of faith, for God will protect those who have faith and bestow his love and mercy on them. He will stand by them in adversity and his will protect them even in greatest danger. Amen.